Sometimes you have to be exposed to a situation before you realise the values. So what we're trying to do, this is all about helping people. This isn't a traditional networking group. It's not about selling to people, but it's actually from the mindset of the people that we are, and probably you are for being here. The common denominator is coming from a place of mindset of abundance, which is about people helping each other. Because what I've learned in my life and experience is you can't be successful by trying to do it all on your own, if only for the fact that you haven't got enough hours in the day and you're going to make mistakes. There's too many things to learn, too many things to do. And as John pointed out, it's invariably, whether it's your direct team or the people, your network around you. I'm not keen on network because networking has a negative connotation. I think I was talking to someone earlier. You expect people pushing business cards at you. This is what it's about. But it's all about people helping each other, and literally when you can share things and help each other and not be competitors, everyone does better. And I'll probably just picking up on a point that John mentioned about if you expanding your business or taking another establishment on. He mentioned something. I just want to say this is because he mentioned that you need to get your figures, you need to be on top of your numbers, you need to have a system in place, and you need that management information. Just to quote a phrase from Marcus's, actually, he says if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And that is very pertinent to marketing as well. So, just to quickly, you don't really want to hear about me, because what I believe is, I'm a bit of a contrarian, you might say. I always look to do different to the crowd, because I've learned that that's the way to go. It doesn't mean to say, I'll get into a bit more of that later, but my background, 3 years ago, I wasn't standing here. Up till 3 years ago, I was employed in the motor industry, in the automotive industry, just to give you a quick background about me. But I'm well versed with sales and marketing with global car companies. I worked for Ford Motor Company, UK, for 10 years, and then I basically made a change because of changes with Ford, and I went to work for DHL. My job was to take products in the fleet market to market. So I work with fleet directors, people like the Ford, Jaguar, Land Rover, Mazda, pretty much a lot of them. And I got made redundant in 2010. And what I've learned in my career with automotive is that there's a lot of strategies that make the difference between a business doing well and not. And if I could help small businesses reach more customers through using things like emotional intelligence, strategy, they're the things. And actually, the people side of the business actually makes a small thing, but it will make a massive difference. So my thought was that instead of going back into a job, I'd go self-employed. And like any of you that started your business as self-employed, you'll know it's not easy at first, and you need to establish yourself. But and also you don't want to make self-employment another job, because actually you probably end up working more hours than you would if you had a job. I only say that because I think these sorts of things, if you're thinking it, you're not the only ones out there, and there's a difference to be made by these groups where you come to people and you find people that know more than you and employ people that know more than you. Because in the words of Steve Jobs at Apple, he used to say he used to employ people that knew more than him, because he doesn't know everything. And if he needs things doing, then you want the best in the areas like John would have the best. He wants the best chef, he wants the best waiters, he wants the best meet and greet people, because they're the people that deliver. And as I say, you need an immediate team around you. It's all a people business at the end of the day. I'm very contrarian, and I believe that the money, success is something that we'll all say it's a different thing for different people. Some see success as actually the person that they become, and I think that's the real wealth of what you can do in your life and your job. But success could be for you money, it could be life, it could be the fact that you've got time free, you can be with your family a lot of the time, you've got choices. But what I believe is that success is where the fear is. Because people who are successful are 3%. If you wanted to be, if you really want to take it to the highest level, if you want to be a Donald Trump or a person like Richard Branson, people like that, that are the very, very top of there, they're not better people, but they know things and they mix with people that know more than them. And what I'm going to share with you here, video, is something that's, you know, you couldn't do, as John says in his marketing and things he's doing now, he wouldn't have been doing 5 years ago. You wouldn't be able to produce video and use it in the way that you can now, just literally 3-4 years ago, because of the technology, how it's working and how it's advancing. And, you know, you'd be paying people, it just wouldn't be financially viable for you till you do it. But, you know, there's TV companies and on the internet and on YouTube and everything that are doing and having more impact and more reach than traditional media and TV and stuff. And video, the reason I've suggested we do video this evening is because it's very powerful if you grasp the opportunity. So let's dive straight in. So what I'm going to kind of cover off here, if you've probably got the email out, is why you must, in my view, be using video in your marketing, how to get started at no or little cost, how video enables you to emotionally connect with potential customers to build sincere long-term relationships. Because I believe when you're marketing a business, you need what I call fusion. It's about maximising what you do offline and also maximising what you do online. And you can absolutely, you have the opportunity to dominate your competition in your industry or your area. But what it all comes down to is making an emotional connection with your customers and your potential customers. That is the massive difference. And if you've got a website, how can you build relationships like we would build face-to-face this evening? You can't. If you look at 99% of websites and web presence, they're what I call faceless businesses. They're pretty pictures and text. Video makes a massive difference. Because basically using video is the only thing that will connect somebody, because you've got body language and everything. It will connect you in the same way as a face-to-face meeting. So we're going to look at that. We're also going to see how video can drive traffic. I call it traffic, you might call it leads, leads and customers to your website or into your business. And also how to get your business listed in the local suppliers directory. Sorry, that's Wendy's bit after me. And also, what we also will do is, if you like what I show you here tonight, if you want me to make and help you make a little, what I call an authentic video to introduce who you are in your business, that I could give you and you can take away, give you a webmaster and put it on your site, I'm more than happy to do that. So why video? This isn't me. I always look at, I take emotion out of things. I don't, when it comes to marketing or measuring and anything else, it's not my opinion. I look at what, not statistics and things, but what's the market saying. And the market right now is, these are the facts, is that videos are being ranked in search. They never used to be. It's only over this last probably 12, 18 months. And the people I work with, I mean, I'm at the cutting edge because I'm on the laptop in a pretty sedentary lifestyle every day. But I actually mix with what I call Facebook and Google insiders. They're internet I work liberally in the internet marketing community. And you could actually say that probably the community I live in are probably hackers, and some hackers. But they don't mean to be hackers to cause destruction, but it's a bit like how Mark Zuckerberg got started with Facebook and he's done, really. It's about doing something that someone's told you couldn't be done before, and it's actually creating things that become solutions that were never out there. You know, it's very innovative type of stuff, so there's a lot that you can learn here. So you can get videos ranked in search engines over and above normal websites. I can get videos, or have done, depending on the competitiveness of the market, get a video ranked in the first page of Google in the top 3 positions, literally within an hour. Which I couldn't do with a traditional website and all the links and blogging and articles and stuff like that. So it's incredibly powerful. It is the most powerful medium that you can be using right now. In terms of engagement and interaction on the web or in social media, and John mentioned social media, but it's the #1 media that people will click on, will engage with, and they'll actually like, share and comment. And they're all the things that you need to be doing to play to the Google algorithms, because at the end of the day, you've got social search with the social media platforms, but when it comes to buying, there's a difference. I'll give you this as well. When it comes to buying, people are still searching in Google. Okay, that's still the one where the buyers are. But if you want to get people to engage, one of the things that I often get asked is, I'm not getting any engagement in their Facebook page or your Twitter and all this sort of thing. It's because you need to, the video get that engagement, and it's followed by photos, inspirational quotes and questions. Video will build your brand faster, and it will give you greater credibility because, a bit like us talking here, you can see me, you can read my body language, you can decide whether you like me or you dislike me. You can't do that on a pretty pictures website. And the other thing is this isn't me, this is the facts of the market. Video is expected to account for 90% of search results by 2015. So if people are searching for you on the web, if you're not using video, you probably won't even be found, even if you've got an established website by 2015. Videos taken over. I don't want to give you death by PowerPoint, but I'll just give you the facts here. Videos taking over the internet as a preferred method of communication. In terms of YouTube, there's 3.6 billion searches. I'm not just talking about people just generally looking at videos and entertaining themselves, but in terms of you go to Google to find something, 3.6 billion people are actually searching in YouTube every month, and those figures are increasing. Videos are proven to convert far better than websites that have no video. And Retailer.com, American site, reports 30% increase in sales for websites using video. And if you go searching for products and services, things that you're looking to buy, you'll probably see that they've got 3D images and they've got videos to explain the products and things now. And this is, what I do is I look at the big sites that are getting all the traffic, Google, Facebook, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, eBay, all these sorts of businesses. And as you see, don't believe me, but look at that, there's a reason why they're asking for video reviews, because ultimately it engages people. If I bought when you buy a book on Amazon, like if you've had this, is that you'll get these emails saying, do you want do you want to put a review on? And invariably now they're looking for video reviews, because if someone, basically one of my friends is searching for a book and I pop up out in Amazon having read Rich Dad Poor Dad or something, and I'm speaking it, someone can see my body language, they can see actually whether I'm just lying or whether I'm actually really enthused about it and whatnot, and that actually, social media and everything, it influences. People are more interested about what other people are saying about your business and what their friends are doing than anything else. So there's a big message in the fact that Amazon, for one, is doing that. So how do you get started with video? Well, basically, if you've got a smartphone like this, you've got a video camera on it, and you could upload that to YouTube for nothing. All you've got to do is set yourself up a YouTube channel. If you want to do something more, if you see these cameras that are on the tripods, you might pay anything from £50 to £300 for those if you want to use that. And as you can see, they've got the USB stick. So basically, that camera there, if I put it into my laptop here, that could be on YouTube for the world to see in the next 5 minutes. So it's very quick, it's very affordable, really. What you would do, and this is the way I would suggest you use video if you want to use videos, is just learn how to use your video camera on your phone, your smartphone, or get a little flip camera or Kodak ZI8, they're the ones that I use. It's incredible the quality and the contrast that you can do. Go to YouTube, set yourself a YouTube channel up, because a bit like putting your website up, you need to host a video somewhere if you want to put it to the world, whether you want people to consume it in YouTube or whether you want to host it on your website, because if you've got hosting on your website, your webmaster would know this, you could upload the video into your hosting company and then put it into your website. So basically, the easiest thing though is, the reason I would suggest you create a YouTube channel is because, and this is a no-brainer, YouTube is owned by Google. And no one knows what the algorithms are precisely with Google, but the community I work in, I can have as good a guess as anybody else that has any informed knowledge, is that if you're looking at web presence, you want a Google account. You want a Google, if you're a physical business, you want a Google local account, which was Google Places. You want to tie that up with a Google Plus page and tie it up with a YouTube channel, and create yourself what they call a Google author. Because when someone's searching for a particular search query in Google will trawl them there, and they'll look. They're basically the whole search criteria has changed now, more social. But what they will do is look to see who's most relevant. A lot of blogs are coming up now because it's refreshed content. Particularly if you've got a website that's built on WordPress, Google loves WordPress. Because it's refreshed content, content managed. There's a lot of people doing blogs out of the bedrooms, and they're being found in search more than established businesses, websites that have been up for 10, 20 years, as a static website may have been. So what you want to do, and then what happens is when Google finds all the search results, it will then look to see what it's got in its own platforms, who's in their own platforms, who's using Google Local, who's using Google Plus, who's got a video YouTube. And that then gets put above it, and I can prove that. So it really is. If you only take one thing away from tonight, it's set yourself up a YouTube channel and tie it into your website or what other web presence you've got. So these are sorts of things. If you went to YouTube, I mean, this is Marcus's one, and people love clicking videos. They love. It's the curiosity. They want to know what they've got to say, what they can learn. And we're in an age of information. We've moved from the Industrial Revolution. I won't get too deep into this because I'll bore you. But we've moved from the Industrial Revolution and the Industrial Age to Information Age. People need information. They need better information to empower themselves. This is why the economy is in the situation that it is in. It's because people won't get jobs and they won't go back to work in the traditional businesses. Because they've got cost to take down. The country's in such a mess that they will never get people to work. The people that are going to get people into jobs is going to come from people like ourselves, which are entrepreneurs, little micro business. You take someone on, and that's how we'll grow ourselves out of it. But people love video, and you've got the opportunity to engage with people. There's no better way. So that's Marcus's YouTube channel. This is a guy that just connected with me from America because of what we're doing. He's got 300 and something views. This is a guy that does recipes, and he shows his recipes. And the point I was just forgetting there is what I'm trying to say to you is marketing now is all about educating people. I call it information marketing, because if you can. There's various reasons why people search on the internet, and one of the things with you being in businesses that you're in, you need to be aware that probably 60% now, certainly in America, and it's happening over here because America tends to lead things, is that 60% of people are looking for your businesses if you're a location. They'll be searching on smartphones and tablets, not on PCs and laptops. So you need to be aware of that. So you need to make whatever you're doing in your marketing. You need to be able to be found on smartphones and tablets and stuff. But so what I would suggest is this, in a way, is whether it's video or whether we do is create little reports and things. It's actually educating something. They look at you, find your business, and you've shared some value in an informational sense that they've learned something from you. Okay, so that's another important thing to think about. And then once you've put your videos on your YouTube channel, then you can embed them in your website. As again, this is Marcus's. But what you can do is get a code from YouTube, give it to your webmaster, or if you content manage your own website, take the code and embed it into your website. Because every time someone clicks on that video in your website, it triggers what we call the robots and spiders of Google search. And that means, someone's been to that website, or someone else has been to that website, and they stare at it for quite a long time. Then that drags Google come looking for you more often, and that will help you get up to search, higher in search as well. But just changing the type of slide here, really. But whatever you do in marketing, and certainly with video or anything really, it's all about. There's a process to marketing and selling, really, if you like, is you need to get an emotional connection, because someone needs to be aware of you, they need to like you, and then they need to trust you. And it's at the point of trust that people will be really prepared to spend money. They might spend money any part of that stage, but I can guarantee you there'll be more people interested in spending money if you can get them to trust. So the faster you can get them through that process, the better. I don't know if you've ever heard of Professor Albert Mehramian. He's a professor of psychology, but you probably don't know his work, but you'll certainly probably be aware of words, tones and facial expression and body language. And I relate this to your website, let's say. If you've got pretty pictures and words and stuff, the element of trust in that, and the belief, if you like, will be 7%. If you've got audio, it takes up to 38%, but facial expression and body language is 50%, 55% of belief of people with your communication. So video allows you to demonstrate your authenticity and actually get, as I say from that last slide, gets you through that process of awareness, like and trust. Similarly, as we talked about earlier, is that face-to-face is probably the best thing, but you can't do that on the web. So using video to get traffic, which then actually transpires into someone deciding to buy and you're getting business and everything. If you're looking at this is just an example. You could be searching for anything, but I just typed in there how to make soup. Could I just to make this a little bit interactive? Can you just throw out your thoughts? Which one of those would you click on? Can you see that very well? You probably can't. But which would you search on? Because I'm just trying to prove a point here.
I can't see it, but I'm guessing there's a video of that.
No, there isn't. No.
BBC thing. Probably one of the top two. The second one. Yeah. It's rarely going for the top one.
Yeah, it's interesting. I won't go into that, but yeah, there's something in that. You're absolutely right. I mean, this is what SEO, search engine optimization, whatever you're doing in your business, it's all about ranking at the highest you can in Google. So that if I'm into making soups and everything, I've got a business about soups, and someone wants to know how, to buy a course off me on how to make the best soups and whatnot, they type that in. I want to be on number 1 and number 2, don't I? So you want to be found, because you're not going to go to page. Well, you might go to page 2 if you can't find what you want on page 1, but beyond that, you forget it. Now they've got, what's that? 239 million results. So you've got to have to be very smart and know what you're doing to get found at the top of Google there. Okay. Which one of those would you click on? Honestly.
Is the red arrow?
Honestly. Well, it is actually. That's sorry. I don't mean to manipulate. Actually, I probably should have left that off. What I was trying to demonstrate is that's the video one, and there's one with a picture underneath. But the point I'm trying to make here, and there's the market research to back this up. But basically, you'd think if you're top of Google, you've got the position, and that you're going to be clicked on, aren't you? And you're going to go to. But the reality is, the way your brain works. I'm not going to go into this, but you invariably 80+% of people are going to go for the one with the video, because it's the way that we learn. The greatest way we learn is actually watching. So they'll look at that video, and it's easy to follow and everything. So this is what I'm trying to demonstrate in that one is 11,600,000 results. Not that really matters with this, because all we want is page 1. Which one would you click on? Invariably, if you've got video on, you're going to get more clicks than someone above you. We did some research. I write for a magazine in Mansfield, just to give businesses in Mansfield a little bit of help and tips on becoming a bit more savvy with their internet online presence and getting sales and everything. We did that. We basically did a survey amongst Mansfield. We took literally screenshots of 4 websites up there, and you probably recognise 1 or 2 of them. Which one? Because very often I get asked about, what do you think to my website? And unfortunately, I never get very good reviews for some reason. But which one of those? There's a lot. It concerns me how much websites are cluttered and there's no call to action, as I would call it, and someone might stay on it, they might not stay on it, they might click something that they're not looking for. It gets messy. I don't really mean to manipulate, but you probably preempt me here, but which of those would you click on first? If you saw those 3 websites, which one would you click on first, second, third and fourth? Anybody want to have a go?
Yeah, definitely the pictures are attractive, aren't they?
Which ones?
Well, I would have said C first, because I like more pictures.
Okay, you go for C, yeah? Anybody else?
I'd always go for B.
Yeah. So, anybody else? So, put them in an order. Someone just put them in an order for me. Which one?
B, C, D, A.
So, you've got C first.
B, D, A last. Go for B, C, A, D.
B, C, A, D. Okay. That is how they were rated. B came first, C came second, and then there was a mixture between A and D the following levels. So for me, that sort of proved that if you've got a video, it engages people more. The consequences of not having a video on the site, most websites, as I say, and it's proven just because of how people behave on the internet and looking at websites, is that most websites are the same as any others and they don't stand out. And if you want to do better than your competitor, whether it's if you're using video or whatever, or whether it's your service offering and everything else, you've got to do something that differentiates yourself. You've got to stand out. But also, you need to use strategies that other people don't know about and aren't using. And it's a lot about knowing things that other people don't. And it's not necessarily about not telling them. It's about getting out there and learning and finding better ways from people. And that's what this group's really all about. Most websites, regardless, probably my opinion here, regardless as faceless businesses, just pretty pictures and text. And because of the way our brain works, it basically is. I mean, there's very few websites on the internet that really make any money, and that's because, or that don't even convert it into customers offline and everything. It's because the trouble being is, and I don't mean to be derogatory about webmasters because they're not all the same, but I'll make a general statement, is that people go to a webmaster or a design company and they'll ask for what they want, and those webmasters will give them what they want and not what they need, because people buy what they want and not what they need. And the other thing is design people don't tend to have a sales structure in their web presence. You need, if you ever do anything with web and you don't know it for yourself, go and find someone that can give you a proper strategy with sales funnel, and then give that to the webmaster to give the design that follows it, because there's too much of people going to websites, they don't see what they want to be on, they come off, the bounce rate is horrendous, and they don't have a call to action. You need to, if you want someone coming onto your site, if you just go back to Marcus's there's only one call to action, that's to get their name and email address or mobile phone number, because then you can communicate. I have people say to me, this is a bit more of a lesson about web presence, isn't it? I don't mean to bore you, but if it's of interest, it's very pertinent, is that you need to capture people's data so that you can continue to talk to them and build a relationship after, because very often people say to me, can you help me with my web, I need some web traffic, and I'll go, well, I need some customers. And they'll go, well, why don't you just, contact the ones, how many people have been to your website, why don't you contact those, do you know who they are? No, I don't know who they are. Because they're not capturing, you don't know whether, even if you've got Google Analytics and you know how many people have been to your website and bounced off or whatnot, you can't then go back to them and say, oh, did you find what you wanted? Like a traditional business, like John is coming in here, they come in here and you say, oh, what is it you're looking for? Can I help you? This is our menu and stuff. You can't do that on the web. You need to capture their details so that you can build a relationship and give them a reason to talk to you and find out a bit more about it. So most websites can be confusing, cluttered with no call to action. So when you've got any web presence, you need to get engagement. You need to get them to do something. It doesn't matter what you're going to do. Ideally, get the contact details and build yourself a database and a list. But you need to get them to do something. What would you do on A? There's lots of offerings, there's lots of stuff there, You can click all sorts over the place, but is that what they want you to do? You probably won't end up getting what you're looking for, and they won't get a sale or be able to help you. Whereas actually, they've probably got exactly what you want, but they've not presented their business in a way that you can access it. And, some of these, I don't know really what to do. Most websites don't engage the visitor and they don't stay on the site for long. And then, this is another learning, if you get people to your website and they're bouncing off, they're not staying for a long enough period, Google picks that up and it will push you down the search engines, because basically what they're saying is it's a bit like I relate it this way, it's a bit like going into the department stores, not that we've got many, but I remember as a kid my mum and dad used to take me to, I think it's Spalding's, used to be where Devonham's is, and you go in the front door and there'd be like a meet and greet person or a sign, it could be say like, ground floor, basement, 1, 2, 3, 1. Can you imagine if they didn't have the sign up and you go to the desk and they go, you say to them, oh, where's menswear? And they go, oh, 4th floor. So you go up to the 4th floor, you go up to 4th floor and it's not there, it's something else. So you go down and you go, that was bloody useless. You wasted my time, I'm going to live. And it's men's isn't it, on 4th floor. Oh, sorry, it must be 2nd floor then. You go up to 2nd floor and by now you really had enough, haven't you? Well, if you can imagine, and I'll give you a bit of information about Google. Every customer that goes on the internet and searches in Google is Google's customer. They're not your customer, they're nobody's customer other than Google's. They're very arrogant about that, if you like. And the trouble being is, when you've got websites and web presence and pretty pictures and text that aren't giving Google what they want so that they can help their customer. If you imagine Google is that person at the beginning that you go to as the meet and greet person, they have to efficiently give you the right place to go, because if you don't get what you want, you're not going to go to that store again, are you? So if that makes sense to you, so you have the responsibility to give Google what you want, but you don't know what to give Google unless you know what to give them. So you need to learn and try to explain that you need to know what Google want and give it them. It's a bit like John with his customers coming in. He needs to know what they want. He needs to have asked them. He needs to have researched. He needs to know what they want, because if he's giving them the wrong stuff, he's giving the wrong coffee, the wrong meals and everything else, they're not going to come back to him, are they? So there's a learning in this. Google, it's not rocket science. Google will put you where you want to be if you give them what they want. And I have a saying that says, if you give people what they want, you'll get what you want. So it's all about, I have a philosophy of give, not get. And it's the same when you work on the web. If you give customers, give search engines, give people what they want, then you're going to get what you want. But you've got to know what they want. I just want to just give you a little bit of a few business tips here, if I can, that relate to what you do on the web and also video and everything. You need to understand, when you do marketing or you're looking to develop your business, you need to understand, I'm very much into emotional intelligence, because that is the real differentiator, that makes a difference. It's a small thing, but if you get this right, it makes the biggest difference. And you need to understand, a bit like I've talked about Google, you need to know what they want and give it them. It's the same thing with your marketing or any parts of your business. You need to understand what drives customers. And the key customers, and this isn't mine, this is market research, this is real fact stuff, is that you need to give people value. These are the things that people, if they're honest, the market research tells you what people want. They want value. And please be aware there's a difference between value and price. If you want to know that, come and speak to me afterwards. But I'm not going to get on the soapbox about that one. But they want value. They want value for money. John mentioned value for money, didn't he? They want quality. They want convenience and speed. Because, again, emotional intelligence tells me that people want self-gratification. They want it now. The reason why Amazon, Kindle, is selling Amazon is selling 5 times more e-books than they are hard copy books is because we want it now. We put our credit card in, we don't want to wait till tomorrow, we don't want to wait till next week for it, do it 3 or 4 days. We don't want to pay £7.50 to have it express delivery in, for tomorrow morning. We want it now. We want to put our credit card in, download it, it's coming to my phone or my tablet, whatever, and I can be reading it tonight. So you need convenience, and you need to be smarter, you need to be better quality than anyone else, you need to be faster than anybody else. People want customer service, they want a great experience because they want to feel better after purchasing what they've purchased, or when they've come out to John's restaurant, they want to feel better when they go home, that they've enhanced their well-being, if you like. And the other thing is, you're offering what customers want is a product or a service, or whatever they're consuming, that fits with their lifestyle, where they see their lifestyle. I know from working in the motor industry that people weren't buying utility vehicles and four-wheel drive vehicles because they needed them when they were going off-road. They, the Chelsea tractors, as you might call them, they drive them, they purchase them because of, the status symbol. They want to be seen. It's the image that they want to portray. They're not all like a gentleman farmer friend who's going to buy a Land Rover Range Rover and he's probably going to take it off-road because, that's what they're designed to do. So you need to understand what drives customers emotionally. Not many more minutes. I think I'm running over. There's three routes how people find you. One is through a search engine such as Google, Yahoo, MSN, and I'm including social media because you've seen the social media channels are starting to get their own search engines now. Referral, word of mouth, recommendations or reviews, or they know you, they're aware of your brand, they've been to you before and they've probably purchased or seen you advertising before. There's three elements to marketing: the who, what and how, as I call it. And you need to be very clear. I tell you these things because, whether you're creating a video or any of the parts of your marketing, you need to be very clear about this because, you could do video, you could do newspaper advertising, any of the sorts of marketing. If you get this wrong, everything's not worth doing. But you need to know clearly who your target market is in your ideal customer. Marcus will talk about this a lot more than me, but, not everybody is your customer because none of us, when we're looking to purchase, see ourselves as anybody. We look at those factors there. What's your message? Your message needs to resonate, it needs to be relevant, and it needs to be compelling to get someone to act. And you need to know how you're going to get to your customers. If they're not coming to you, you need to know how to get to them. You need to know where they hang out, as I would call it, because there's too much marketing that's done where it's just gunshot. It's to everybody. 2% direct mail. We're all getting the leaflets through the doors, and we think most of them, 94% of them go in the bin because it's not relevant. Now we're in a situation you've got to be very personal, you've got to be very specific about your market, you've got to be very relevant, you've got to have a call to action. As I say on the slide there, you've got to be crystal clear. So, when someone says, what's the best marketing I should do? Should I be doing SEO, link building? Should I be doing articles? Should I be using the paper and everything else? There's no real answer without looking at your own individual business and being clear about that. Who your customer is first, then where they're hanging out, where do you need to go to, and that will determine where your marketing spend goes, really. And then your message needs to be compelling to get the person to act, because it's all about building a relationship and getting a call to action for them to take action. You will in the future, if not already, in fact you are, whether you realise it or not, being judged and found for reviews, comments, likes, shares and check-ins. So you do need a strategy for your mobile phone, especially if you're a location business. I see Twitter, for instance, and Facebook and things that, you probably have as well, where people are walking along probably in Nottingham and they've just tweeted, where's the best place to eat in Nottingham? You need to learn this sort of stuff. One of the things I said in doing this presentation would be if anybody would like a video making, I think the way I say to people they ought to get started is to do what I call a who, why, what and how. There's a formula to this, because if you want to build a relationship, people want to know who you are, they want to know why you're worth listening to rather than waste their time. They want to know what you can offer them. This isn't about you, when you present yourself, it's about what you can do, what you're offering the other person. I see too much marketing where it's all about me, it's all about the business. They're pushing messages, and that doesn't work anymore. It's all about engaging and being a participant. But you need to tell people who you are, why you're worth listening to, what you've got to offer, and how to get it. And that, if you think about those four web, what I call a squeeze page, it's your home page, if you like, for some, is that you need to get them to do something, because otherwise you're just giving them some information and you're no better off for it. Does that make sense? So if anybody after this, because I think who's next? Wendy's got 5 minutes or something. If anybody wants to know any more, you know, just come see me afterwards. I've got video cameras here, so if you literally felt confident enough and you just wanted me to do a quick video of you standing in front of the camera, and I could help you do that, make a quick video about who you are and what you do in your business, so that your customers could actually connect with you in a video. I can create that video for you, send it on to you. You could give it your webmaster or use it in some way, whether you create yourself a YouTube channel or just put it on your website, because that will make a massive difference to building a relationship.
I think everybody should take part up on that, even if you never show anybody this, because I think that just practicing talking to a camera is an amazing thing. You know, I mean, I've never done it before. I met these guys, and I've done it a few times now. I feel so much more confident just by doing that, going through the process, because it's not natural to most of us to do. So I think if you get the chance to practice, you know, it's a matter if nobody else sees it ever, or if you keep it and you want to show your web design like that, you know, I think that'd be up to you. But I would definitely recommend having it go. I'll keep it go.
Thank you. Little plug. Okay, that's me done. I hope that was of some value. If you've got any questions, just to rush things along, get Wendy on, and the people that need to go can go. If anyone's got any questions, catch me afterwards. Yeah? Thank you.